Hi, I'm Caitlin. I'm the CMO at Blazel, and I wanted to record this little mini strategy session for you. And the whole goal of this little series is to help you take your content and use that to actually drive pipeline for your business. And I'm talking about revenue. One of the biggest misconceptions that I see people make around LinkedIn is that they think that they put content out there, suddenly they'll have this flow of inbound leads. And I'm here to tell you that unfortunately, it does not work like that. Over the last few months, I've driven over 1 million impressions to my content. So I get generally good engagement, lots of activity, and the amount of inbound leads that I've gotten for Blazel is about this big. It's literally a handful of people. And so if you are relying on generating 1 million impressions and getting a handful of inbound leads, you're gonna be waiting for a long time for that. But there's ways that you can take an active approach in taking all of the intent signals that's happening around your content, and you can actually push that into discovery calls for your business. So there's 3 things you can do to actively participate. First is respond to comments. So what I do is I only post at times when I know I'm available to be online, and I will be online for the first 10 to 20 minutes that my post goes live, and I will engage with whatever happens in those first 20 minutes. So the reason why this is so critical is because LinkedIn, when you post, what happens with the algorithm is that they show your content to a very small sample pool, and they're testing how well the content performs. So the more engagement they see in kind of that initial window, the bigger reach you'll ultimately have, because they're saying like, okay, well, this content did really, really well with our sample group. Now we're gonna show it to a larger volume of people. One of the things I'll do is I will post a comment to start. I don't just pick any old comment or any perfunctory thing. I try to pick something that could spark conversation or add some interesting angle, or maybe it didn't fit in the post, but there was some extra piece of information that I wanted people to be aware of, or I put a screenshot or a graphic or something like that in the comments. And then you know that you hit gold if you can get people doing what are called indirect comments, which is within the same comment thread, people are talking to each other and there's multiple people that are engaging in that. That will also increase the reach of a post. Beyond that, anyone who comments or talks, I will go in and engage with them directly. The second way you can take an active role in this is sending connection requests to your ICP. For example, if I see someone that's like head of marketing or a VP of marketing or a CRO or a CEO or something like has one of those type of titles, especially if they're engaging with my content in some way, I will always proactively send connection requests to them. And we'll have another whole section on connection requests and kind of the strategy behind that. The final one is sending DMs. And I'm not gonna get ahead of myself too much because again, this will be its own little video, but DMs is where revenue is actually made. I talked about how you can't just sit back and wait for inbound leads. DMs is where you take all of the trust that's been built around your content and you leverage that into having conversations with people. And when you can get people into discovery calls, that's where you're able to close. Hopefully this was helpful. If there's something specific that you would want us to do a video on, or you're curious about, we're totally open to feedback, and we'll be sending more little bite-sized content your way in the coming days.